guys, PTV Cubing here. Today, I will be doing a comparison between the MoYu Aolong V2 and the QI-YI Thunderclap. Yesterday, I made a video about the Thunderclap. In the video, I talked about how much I lowered the cube out of the box. A bit more time with the cube, my opinion started to change. My averages had dropped about 5 seconds from where they were with the Aolong. But today, I decided to lube the corner pieces with weight 5 and to tighten the cube significantly in order to increase my control over the cube. So, has the Thunderclap really improved? Is it now better than the Aolong? I will be giving each cube a score out of 5 points in these following categories: turning and corner cutting, pops and lockups, speed, controllability, and mechanism/design. The cube with most points at the end of the comparison is the better cube, objectively speaking. Now that you know how I plan on judging each cube, let's begin. The first category is turning and corner cutting. The MoYu Aolong has a very smooth and buttery feel on both a stock puzzle and a well-lubed one. The Aolong has a very comfortable speed, allowing Aolongs to be performed at high speeds. The cube is heavier than the Thunderclap, and sometimes turning, especially in the M layers, requires more effort. The Thunderclap, when out of the box, has a very clicky and bumpy feel comparable to that of the Changsha Legend. Unlike the Aolong, the Thunderclap's turning changes upon proper lubrication and tensioning. The Thunderclap from this point on is free of the majority of imperfections it had, at least in terms of turning. Now it's a very scratchy feeling with a hint of the original bumpiness that it once had. Both cubes have relatively similar corner cutting. Here on the Thunderclap, and here on the Aolong, with the Aolong being slightly better in terms of reverse. In the category of turning and corner cutting, the Aolong receives a 3 out of 5, and the Thunderclap receives a 4. The Aolong is just slightly harder to turn due to its weight, making the QI-YI Thunderclap more pleasant and comfortable to turn. The Thunderclap's inferior corner cutting, as well as the fact that the cube is only really good after it's set up, earns it a 4 out of 5 instead of a perfect score in this category. The next category is pops and lockups. Pops are practically non-existent in both cubes. If any pops occur at all, that is most likely due to a person's tensions and not the overall quality of the cube. MoYu and QI-YI are usually pretty good with that. The Thunderclap has many issues with overshooting and leads to lockups more often than its competitor in comparison to the Aolong. The Thunderclap's slightly worse reverse corner cutting is probably attributed to the flatter edges of the corners in its centers. Regardless of the reason, it still attributes to the fact that the lockups occur, and that greatly impacts its performance. So, in this category, the Aolong receives a perfect 5 out of 5, while the Thunderclap only receives 4 out of 5 possible points. The Thunderclap's lockups are also partially an issue with the cube's specific turning speed. While it does tend to lock up more in corner cutting tests, it's not significant enough to ruin the cube altogether. Moving on, the next category in this comparison is speed. Each cube in the category has an incredible amount of speed when compared to many budget cubes and even other high-quality speed cubes belonging to some of the most popular and reputable brands. The Aolong has a great amount of speed, but is nothing compared to the Thunderclap. The Aolong's slightly slower speed allows for more complex algorithms to be performed with less chance of overshooting or locking up. However, the Thunderclap's speed allows a user to recover faster in a solve, or a cuber to recover faster in a solve during the OLL and PLL phases when solving in CFOP, if they had made a mistake during the cross or F2L. So in this category, both cubes receive a 4 out of 5. The Aolong is slower than similar modern cubes, and the Thunderclap is a little too fast at times and can lead to some overshooting or lockup issues for even the fastest of cubers. The next category is controllability. As mentioned earlier, the Aolong's slightly slower speed prevents some of the controllability issues that the Thunderclap suffers from. It is a good thing. The Thunderclap is just way too fast and has many issues with controllability. This also results from the cube's stability. The Thunderclap has many issues there as well. In this category, the Aolong receives a perfect score, and the Thunderclap receives a measly 3 out of 5. The Aolong may seem uncontrollable to some, however. The faster you are, the easier it is to handle. With the Thunderclap, however, it's less of a personal issue, as the slightest movement can knock a layer out of place. The final category in this comparison is design/mechanism. Both cubes have a similar design in terms of edges, with the Thunderclap's edges just being more indented in this general area. The corners in the Thunderclap are less round on the exterior and have an opposite stalk shape, like right here, where it is wider at the top, while the owl-longs are wider at the bottom section. The center caps of the Thunderclap are much larger and easier to remove than the owl-long. The cores are identical except for the color. In terms of the design, the QIYI company has produced a very lightweight cube compared to the heavier owl-long. The Thunderclap's lighter feel definitely makes turning much more enjoyable and less stressful. The pieces on the Thunderclap are much flatter, slightly reducing reverse corner cutting, but also reducing corner twists as well. In this category, the owl-long receives a 3 out of 5 and the Thunderclap receives a 4 out of 5. Both have great mechanisms, but the owl-long just received the lower rating because it was inferior to the Thunderclap and didn't deserve such a high score. In the end, the owl-long V2 receives a score of 20 out of 25, and the Thunderclap receives a score of 19 out of 25. The owl-long is technically objectively better in this case, but not by a whole lot. In the end, most of the significant issues such as controllability, weight, etc. found in both cubes can be overlooked after enough practice with that specific cube. It really just comes down to personal preference, and I personally prefer the Thunderclap. It has now officially replaced the Moyu Owl-long V2 as my main. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and, branching off what I said yesterday in my video, please tell me what I can do to improve the quality of my videos. Anyways guys, that was my comparison of the Moyu Owl-long V2 and the QIYI Thunderclap. Thanks for watching.